you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in, but in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shouts out to the early birds, starting with Dun Dun Dun. PYT, the young thing. You need some loving, to love and care. What's up, Tina? Grayson, Eric Campbell, what's up? What it do? Rod Robinson, Capri Lopez. Capri, smooth name right there, Capri. Capri Lopez. If you have not done so already, fam, you might want to go and get you some Willie D live gear. You know, some No More Talk gear. I got the skeleton hands, the No More Talk mug. You can sip on a little something while you're checking out the show. Get your merch now. If you don't see it, refresh, hit your refresh button and you'll see it. You'll see the Willie D Live merch. Who else we got here? Daryl Johnson, what's up? What's up, Daryl? What it look like? Let me see. Kirk, is that DeGrand? Turk DeGrand. What's up, Turk? Appreciate you. Straight up. Dwayne Witherspoon. Jeff Hemphill. Jeff Hemphill. What's up, Jeff? Tracy Davis. Tracy Patterson, New Jersey. Patterson, New Jersey. Okay, I got you. Okay, fam, going in. Let's see, where are we here? Man, I had my article right there in my face. Okay, there we go. So here we go, fam. As you know, Shiloh Sanders, not Shiloh, but his brother, Shiloh Sanders, was ejected from a preseason football game against the Buffalo Bills over the weekend after he and another player got into a shoving match, and both players threw a punch about the same time, but Shiloh threw another punch, so I guess the guy that throws the punch second always gets caught, or perhaps he was a victim of the black guy syndrome. I don't know, fam. I don't know, man. Anyway, only time will tell if Shiloh Sanders will be suiting up for the NFL, for an NFL team this year, after he was cut by the Buccaneers in the wake of a preseason game where he was ejected for throwing a punch. However, he does have a possible backup plan, thanks to the CFL team that claimed the rights to sign him after doing the same for his brother Shador. So two of Deion Sanders' sons, Shador and Shiloh, declared for the most recent NFL draft after wrapping up their time at Colorado. The former had to wait until the 5th round before the Browns decided to scoop up a second quarterback after selecting Dylan Gabriel, while the latter didn't hear his name called by the time the draft wrapped up. The undrafted safety ultimately signed with the Buccaneers as a free agent. There were a few factors that played into Tampa Bay's decision to release him following their final preseason game, but that certainly did not do, he didn't do himself any favors, fam, by getting into that squabble, throwing that punch at tight end Zach Davison before he was subsequently ejected by the referee. Yeah, they go referee, umpire, ref. Yeah, before he was ejected by the ref. Now, the Canadian Football League has a negotiation list that allows each of its 9 teams to claim the exclusive signing rights to up to 45 players who either play at the college level or are affiliated with a squad in another professional league. Hence, the opportunity for them to sign Shiloh Sanders. They have agreed to include him on their negotiation list. Most of the guys who are targeted are relatively minor names who have a somewhat realistic chance of taking their talents to the CFL, after being forced to accept they don't have what it takes to hang into the NFL. However, the negotiation list also boasts some notable players that those teams view as a bit of a pipe dream. That includes Trey Lance, who is seemingly set to secure a job as a backup quarterback for the Chargers this season, but could only try for the, Saskatchewan Roughriders if he decided to take his talents to the NFL. All signs point to Shiloh Sanders landing his role at the Cleveland Browns. But the Toronto Argonauts have had him on their list since the end of April. So check this out. Hold on, what's going on with my... Okay, here we go. So now he's being joined by his brother, as 3 Down Nation reports. Shilo was claimed by the Argonauts over the weekend in the wake of his release. So it seems pretty unlikely that Shilo is going to allow himself to be claimed by the CFL, although they do have the signing rights to him. I absolutely do not see Shiloh Sanders playing in the CFL. I do not ever see Shiloh Sanders playing in the CFL. They come from a pedigree that is top notch. The pride alone would not allow any one of those boys to play for a CFL team. I don't care how much money they're offering. It's a certain stigma that comes with playing for the CFL. Now, if you're just totally off the radar, you ain't got nothing else to do, ain't nobody calling, then you got to do what you got to do, you know. And if you're that good, you go to the CFL, you show off, you show up, you show off, you show everybody what you got and why you deserve to be in the NFL, and then that's different. But I do not see Shiloh Sanders playing in the CFL. I do not see him trying out any of that type of stuff. Can you imagine what the conversations would be like at the dinner table? They joke a lot. They joke a lot between themselves. And it's just the pride factor. I do believe that Shiloh Sanders has what it takes to play in the NFL. I think he's dope. I think he's really dope. I think he can play. He's a hard hitter. He's a hard worker. And I think there's a team out there for him. I think he'll get another shot. I don't think what he did was so damn egregious that you would cut a player, especially a good player. He's a good player. Why they cut him? Because he's Deion Sanders' son, and they really didn't want him. Somebody didn't want him in the organization in the first place, because you don't cut a player that fast. What if he was a star player? What if he was one of their star players? You think he would have gotten cut? Nope. So in the NFL, just like these other teams, even in the NBA and baseball, all that stuff, you know, the less they have invested in you, the easier it is for them to cut you loose. The more they have invested in you, the harder it is for them to cut you loose. The more they have invested in you, the more, whether that's real money invested in you or whether that's expectations. If they believe that you can help them win championships and it ain't no funny stuff going on like what's going on right now with the Sanders boys, they gonna ride with you. You get to slap somebody and keep your job. You get to punch him in the gut. He punched the dude in the head and it had absolutely no effect on his body. When you're a star player and you're the best of the best and they know it, man, you can kick a player in their ass and still keep your job. So let's not act like this is all just about him losing his cool, right? It do play a part, but it's not the end all be all. I think he got another shot and I think he's gonna learn from it. I think it's gonna be a long time before he throw another punch, even if the punch is warranted. I think it'll be a long time before he throw another punch against another player. Mark my words, fam. Turn Shiloh Sanders loose and watch what happens. I think he's gonna be a star player. I think that Shiloh Sanders is gonna end up being a very, very good player. I don't even see why a lot of them don't see his talent like I do. I see it. I see the hunger. I see the skill set. So he's just gonna have to learn from this mistake. He has to know that when the odds are against you and you get an opportunity, you got to seize that opportunity, and you can't do nothing to allow yourself to get off your square. You can't let nobody get you off your square. Buddy got him off his square. I wouldn't be surprised if that tight end worked out a plan with somebody before the game even started and said, I'm gonna get that youngster, I'm gonna get at him. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't seething with anger all of the times that he watched the Sanders boys get shine and recognition. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't go in there with that when he saw that Tampa Bay was going to be on the schedule, that he circled that and was like, yeah, I'm gonna teach that boy a lesson. I wouldn't be surprised if all of this stuff was not planned. I would not be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it in collusion with some type of executive on his team, or even some of the other players on his team. If he did it with other players, it'll get out. It'll absolutely get out. If he did it with executives, then it'll be harder for the truth to come out. Yeah, you know what? Let's take a poll right quick, fam. Let's see what's up. Give me a thumbs up if you think that Shiloh Sanders will accept an offer to play in the CFL. Give me a thumbs up if you think that he'll accept the offer. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, that ain't gonna happen. He's a Sanders. Too much pride. Won't happen. Well, everybody's saying down. Trey Brown down. 407 down. Tara down. China Carter down. What's up, China? Sir Herb C down. Tina Miller down. Bud B up. Janice, is that Janice? Janice. Janice up. What is that? Janice? Couldn't see that. Janice down. Marcus B up. Della Coleman down. Tyree down. Miss Simona down. Kareem down. Cornelius Echoes down. Sean down. Chuck Diesel down. Andre down. Melody down. Supreme down. Mike down. Willie Garrison down. Sweet Beloved down. Rockzilla up. DJ down. Speak the Truth down. So most of y'all don't believe that Shiloh will accept an offer to play in the CFL, and I don't either. I don't believe he'll accept the offer, but the offer does stand. So he got a backup plan. If that's what he wants, he can go play for him. They want him. They've already said, hey, we want you. We want to do some business. Come on, play for us, man. If they don't want to, they don't respect you. They don't appreciate you. We do. He could probably go play for the CFL and be the top dog as far as get the man top dollar. He can get top dollar. I tell you what though, fam, it ain't nothing like being somewhere where you want it. It ain't nothing like going somewhere where people appreciate you. And still, you know that feeling when you go somewhere sometimes and you're in a place where you feel unappreciated, or you feel unwanted, you feel unwelcomed. Yeah, you been there, right? Yeah, it ain't, but what about when you go to those places where you feel the love? You know, almost like Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they always glad you came. You want to go where they say, you want to go where people, you want to be where we are. You want to go where troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name, something like that. Yeah, straight up. By the way, Cheers is one of the greatest TV theme songs ever. Cheers. In fact, let me see. Cheers. Cheers. Good Times. You know Good Times on the list. Cheers. Good Times. The Jeffersons, All in the Family. That's my top 4. My top 4 best theme songs of all time. Those are my top 4. Different Strokes was dope too. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one stroke. What might be right for you might not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of dreams. He's a man of means. Then along come two. They got nothing right to him. They got different strokes. Man, say fam, hey, our generation had the best sitcoms ever. We got the best. They probably never have another generation that'll have sitcoms that consistently good. Like everything was good. Everything was good. All of the theme songs were dope. Sanford and Son didn't have words, it was just the music. Yeah. When I get through with this, I'm finna go watch me some theme song. I'm about to go watch me some old sitcoms. Let me see who I'm gonna start with. I'll probably start with Fred and Lamont. I might start with Fred and Lamont. Move on over to All in the Family. Get me some Jeffersons in. I might mix it up a little bit and grab a little Martin, then come back. And then you gotta end it with Good Times, fam. You gotta end it with Good Times. You gotta end it with Good Times. That was no greater show ever. The cast, every single member of the cast, from the main members, from James and Flo and Bernadette Stannis and JJ, and I'm mixing up the characters with the real names, but Raph Carter and Bologna, uh, Bookman, the Alderman, all of the other cast of characters, man. Come on, man. Nobody touching that. Nobody. But getting back, fam, getting back to Shiloh. I think Shiloh is a very, very solid player. He's a hard hitter. He's fearless. And you got to be fearless in football. There's a lot of them dudes, they be out there, they be scared. They be scared to run across that field. They're really cautious. Shiloh is not afraid. He's fearless and he's skilled. I hate that he gave them an opportunity to do him dirty. He gave them that opportunity. They gave him an opportunity, and then he gave them an opportunity to stick it to him. You got to know when you get a good opportunity. You got to know when you get a good opportunity to stick with it, to make sure that you secure the bag. And that's not just in football. That's not just in sports. That's in life. When you're given a good opportunity, don't blow it. You know, I helped a family member get a job. And that family member overslept, not once, but twice. Twice in 2 weeks. Just started the job. Good job. You know, like people used when he was old, people used to say, I got a good job. I had a good job. Could have turned it into a career. Blew it. Blew it. Don't blow that. When you get that opportunity, seize it. Because opportunities are fleeting. Opportunities are fleeting. When you get that opportunity, you gotta seize it. Even in relationships. If you get a good opportunity, fam, if you have an opportunity to be in a relationship with somebody really good for you, a solid person, spiritually sound, somebody that's generous, loving, caring, thoughtful, don't mess it up with them old ways, because them old ways might work with them old people you used to mess with, don't count no more. But man, don't mess that up. Don't mess it up. I'm talking to all y'all, men and female. All y'all youngsters out there, you know. A lot of time when you're young, you mess up good relationships because you think you got time. And then as time go by, you realize how hard it is to find somebody who's really, really, really gets you, who will really rock with you right. Somebody you really, really love and that love you. Boy, that ain't easy. Don't mess up that opportunity when you get it. You better seize it. Don't be thinking you got another shot. You might not get another shot. Especially in today's climate, in today's dating climate, you better be very careful. I know Shiloh more than anybody on the planet, maybe next to his daddy or his mama, has got to be sick, you know, because they know how hard he worked. And I already know he's already changed his behavior. I know he's already corrected it. I know he's ready. I know he's ready for that next chance. Like, man, when I get that next chance, man, I ain't letting nobody take me off my square. You know, I'm gonna get down, play ball. The trip part about Shiloh is this, and his brother. Even if they turn out to be great players in the NFL, they're not gonna get too many chances to mess up. They're being judged on a different level than everybody else. They're not going to have the same opportunities. They're not going to give them the same latitude to make mistakes. Day one, everybody looking at, they scrutinizing every single play. They don't get to say bad play. That was a bad play. Every play that they have, especially a bad play, the good play is going to be magnified, but a bad play is going to be magnified by 1,000 times. Them boys are going to have pressure on them for their entire NFL careers. When they get to the end, there's still going to be pressure because now they're going to be, hopefully Hall of Famers. Or at least, at the very least, they're going to have real, good careers, right? Now they're going to go into sports media and stuff like that, analysts, commentators. And most of those analysts and commentators, most of those sports analysts and commentators are coconuts, the black ones. Most of them are coconuts. So those boys ain't gonna be like that. They gonna speak their minds like their daddy spoke his mind and still got the bag. See, that's the thing. You can be you can be a man, you can have a backbone, you can stand on business and still get the bag. You just gotta, know how to navigate it. Gotta know how to do it. Everybody ain't able. So this new team that has secured the signing rights to Shiloh Sanders is the Toronto Argonauts. The Toronto Argonauts is a Canadian football team. And they have secured the rights, but they also have secured the rights to Shiloh Sanders. But there's no way possible Shiloh Sanders is going to play in the CFL for certain. He's no way possible he's going to go play. He looks like he's a shoe-in to make the Browns team, right? But his brother don't have a team at the moment. And so there may be a slither of hope for that Canadian team to get Shiloh signed. But I doubt it. I think Shiloh is going to go and try as much as he can, and I think he'll land. I think he's going to land on his feet. He'll go and practice with some of these dudes, and he'll make the team. He gonna make the cut. He's a hustler. That's the type of dude you want on your team. He a hitter, man. Special teams, and he's a football player. You dig what I'm saying? He's one of them type of dudes where his teammates love him. He gonna stick up for his team. He gonna stick up for his teammates. He gonna stick his head into the pile. He ain't scared to lead. Put that hammer on somebody. Yeah, that's the type of player you want. You get into a squad, but he gonna be standing right there. He ain't looking for no trouble. But he ain't dodging none either. He just got to figure that piece out about how to control his emotions. Control his emotions and all he got to do is figure out how to be a little bit more mature about his emotions. And I think he'll be all right. Chuck Diesel, what up? Yeah, I don't know why they be like ignoring Shiloh. I don't know why people just be like discounting and discrediting him. Man, Shiloh Sanders, man, that's a bad boy. I'm going to keep saying it, and one of these days, everybody else going to say, you said it, you called it. Shiloh Sanders is a bad boy. A lot of people, everybody paying attention to Shador. And Shador a bad boy too, so he deserves all the recognition that he gets. But man, don't you underlook Shiloh. Shiloh a bad boy. Shiloh remind me of the type of dudes that I grew up being around. Hitters. That's the kind of football I want to see. I want to see a hitter. All that grabbing the jersey and wrapping your arms and barely making contact. No, man. You come across that field, and I'm coming, and we finna have a clash of the Titans. That's how, man, this is how the average football player tackle these days. Shiloh come like this. Full force. Boom! Boom! Collision. He want the contact. He looking for the contact. Then he gonna hit you with one of these. Yeah. I'm telling you. Y'all better stop underestimating Shiloh Sanders. I don't know what some of these teams out here thinking of. I ain't seen a lot of players. I know I've seen several players that play for these NFL teams that, in my opinion, Shiloh Sanders is better than. Several of them, not one or two, several. Yeah, I really hate that for Shiloh, that he allowed himself to lose his cool. I'm sure if he could take it back, he'll take it back like that. But hey, you know, what's done is done. You know, what's done is done. The only thing he can do is reset, get his mind right, be ready, stay ready so he ain't got to get ready. Show up when somebody get injured. Somebody gonna get injured. Walk on, use all your daddy contacts, use all of every single person that you know, and footman, get somebody, call somebody, give me a chance. Give him a chance. Give that boy a chance, man. I can see if he did something like that player who played for the, I think he played for the Seahawks. They were in the pile, and he was I think he's a defensive player. They were in the pile, and he kicked the dude. He didn't just kick him, he stomped him. Obviously, they didn't cut him. So it ain't like he did. What I saw, he just threw a punch. Okay. I know it was bad. He wasn't supposed to do it, and that's a penalty. I get it. It's not, but you don't cut somebody for throwing no damn, hitting somebody in the head that got a whole damn helmet on. You hitting the helmet with your fist. I can see if he kicked him with his leg. You know, he put the foot on him or something. It's football, man. They do more than that. They do more damage than that in practice to each other, when they don't even have helmets on. And they cut him? Nah, man. So that lets you know it wasn't about his talent. That lets you know it wasn't about the talent. It was about the name on the back of that jersey. That's what it was about. One of y'all, some of y'all teams out there, some of those teams out there got some black ownership. All y'all owners out there, y'all always talking about we need to get our own. So when we got our own, we got some of y'all got minority stakes. You may not be able to call the shots, but you got a voice. Go walk up in that office and say, "Come on, man. Can we give them a shot? Let's give them a shot." So let's look at this. There are at least 7 prominent black minority owners. That's not just black owners, that's prominent black owners. That includes, well, these are minority owners though. That includes, minority. So that includes, when I say minority, meaning that not minority, racial, but minority, meaning that they don't own the majority of the team. They own a minority of the team. And these owners include Magic Johnson, Eric Holloman for the Washington Commanders, Melody Hobson and Condoleezza Rice for the Denver Broncos. Venus and Serena Williams have ownership in the Miami Dolphins. Warwick Dunn has ownership in the Atlanta Falcons. John Stallworth, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Rosalind Brewer has ownership in the Atlanta Falcons. So, somebody, anybody, need to be speaking up, saying, "Get a man a chance, man." We already know he wasn't cut because of his lack of talent. He was cut because of the name on the back of that jersey. And let me tell all of y'all out there something who got the power to do something about it. You cannot say you're an ally of the black community if you got the power to do something about it and won't do something. And I ain't just talking about the executives. I'm talking about you women too. You women that make love to them. Yeah, your children, all of them. Anybody that know you, that got influence over some of your decisions that you make. Somebody. Because you know, that pillow talk means something. That pillow talk means something. I'm telling you, that pillow talk, what your children think, when you got close relationships with your children, you consider all of that. When you have a good brother relationship, a friendship, that means something. Somebody need to be speaking up. Somebody need to be saying something. I bet you if Donald Trump called right now, if Donald Trump went out there and said something about it, that he got a raw deal, I bet you right now, all of them owners would be on their knees sucking up Donald Trump. All of them be all up in his butt licking. Every last one of them, because they cowards. That's right, I said it, they're cowards. They try to act like they decent people, and they allow something like this to happen. They do that boy like that. They do that boy dirty like that. Nah, man, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. You don't get no pass. You do not get a pass. What's up? Happy Days 1980. Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Wednesday, Thursday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, happy days. Y'all remember that? Happy Days? The Fonz? Yeah. Big J Bone. What's up? So he was not picked up. He was a team got the signing rights to him. If he wants to play for them, they have the signing rights. They want him to, they secured the signing rights to Shiloh Sanders. I meant to, well, to Shiloh also, but to Shiloh Sanders. Yeah, that team is the Toronto, let me get it right, Argonauts. Argonauts. And they've had Shador on their list. They have the signing rights to Shiloh Sanders also should he decide that he want to come and play for the CFL. They have the signing rights for Shador also. They've been having the signing rights to Shiloh Sanders since the end of August. But now they just secured the signing rights to Shiloh Sanders. So this is that. So they now have Shiloh Sanders on their negotiation list that allows each of his 9 teams to claim the exclusive signing rights to up to 45 players who either play at the college level or are affiliated with a squad in another professional league. So the Toronto Argonauts have claimed the rights, the CFL rights, to sign Shiloh Sanders after he was cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, boy, what I want to say about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not the city, I ain't got no problem with y'all. But y'all team suck monkey nuts. Y'all, I'm feeling like I'm feeling like I feel about the Cowboys right now when it comes to Tampa Bay. I want them to get their heads bust all the way up. They on the hit list, man. They public enemy #1 right now. Todd Bowles, yeah, Todd Bowles, that dude there, oh man. They cut that man because of something that didn't have nothing to do with his talent. They didn't, let me tell you something, fam. When they cut Shiloh, that was just, they already had a reason. Shiloh gave them an excuse. That's it. They had their reason. Shiloh gave them an excuse. They were already looking for a reason to cut him. They was trying to figure out, they probably trying to figure out how to do it. And when he did that, they were like, Got it. Oh man, it just works out perfectly. Cut them within 24 hours. They saw the same video we saw. Both of those dudes threw a punch at the same time. But Shiloh gets kicked out off his team and the other guy stays on his team. If it was so egregious what happened, both of them threw punches. If it's all about just throwing punches, both of them threw punches. And one could argue that the other guy continued on with the play after the whistle blew. Shiloh was being pushed backwards. Dude was coming forward. So he was the aggressor. The other player was the aggressor. Shiloh was being pushed backwards. And dude is constantly pushing him forward. The dude is constantly pushing him backwards. He's going forward. Shiloh is being pushed backwards. Who's the aggressor? They don't consider none of that? Oh, man, yeah. But ain't no telling, fam. You never know how this stuff go. All of them probably was in on it. They were all, every last one of them probably was in on it. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee wasn't in on it. Because why the referee only flagged Shiloh? Why he only kicked Shiloh out of the game? He didn't kick the other guy out of the game. You say Shiloh, okay, the Baker's Man Card Gallery says Shiloh was being blocked on a run play, learn football. Learn football, I played football. Don't come on here insulting me now, man. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. I played football, I know football. I know how to play football. And I know when the whistle blow, you're supposed to stop. When the whistle blow, you stop. He didn't stop. He kept pushing. He was the aggressor. I saw him being blocked. But once the whistle blow, aren't you supposed to stop? Did they change the rules? Because I know it's really soft now, but that's inconsistent with how soft football is now. Because I would expect, since they're so soft now, hell, they should probably stop blocking before the whistle blow. But he kept pushing. He was the aggressor. So we're not supposed to consider that? We're not supposed to consider that the fact that the whistle had blew and he was still pushing Shiloh? Yeah, I know football. I know everything about football. I know how to play football. I just don't like football anymore. I don't like the NFL. I don't like the NFL. I especially don't like the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm a Texas boy. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because I don't like the owner. Do not like him. And now Tampa Bay is right next to Dallas. I don't like Tampa Bay. In fact, any team that got a problem with the Sanders boys got a problem with me. I got a problem with them. They don't like the Sanders boys, I don't like them. In fact, anybody that don't like the Sanders boys, I don't like them. Anybody. And that ain't just Shiloh and that's not just Shiloh and Shador. That's also, I think, the other one of the other boys' name is Bucky. That's him too. And if he got any other boys, the rest of them, and the girls. You don't like the Sanders family, I don't like you. That's right, I'm staying on code. K Camp, what up? What's up, T Davis? Tavares. Hey, Cynthia. Wind of prosperity. Tell it, man. Tell it. Orange Juice Jones says the Sanders family need to sue the NFL. Yeah, nah, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. If they sue the NFL, they're guaranteed to never play in the game, play NFL anymore. Those boys work way too hard to allow themselves to be put in a position where they can't live out their dream. Their dream is to play football. Look, their daddy got paper on top of paper. They got paper too because they got those NIL deals in college. So they got some money too. But so they can go out there and do whatever they want to do on the business side, but they want to play football. That's their dream. Their dream is to play football. If you play football from the time you're 4 years old, 5 years old, man, you want to go to the league. When you're that committed to playing the game, you want to be in the league. That's their dream, to play in the league. And their dream should not be deferred because you got some uncivilized mutts who are trying to take it out on them because they don't like their daddy. And it goes to show you how deep the racism run and how deep also the immaturity run. Because you got to be, it's really like a juvenile mentality to handle those boys like that when all they've done is show up and show out. Yeah, if they sue the NFL, they're never going to play. They shouldn't sue. No. Go in there, man, and just deal with it. All of us have to deal with it. All of us have went to work when we didn't want to go to work. All of us have worked with people who we did not want to work with. We work with people who we can't stand. But you do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. And that's what's going on right now. Shador and Shiloh needs to do what they got to do until they can do what they want to do. There will come a time, if they continue to play, that it won't be as much pressure, but they're going to always have pressure on them, and they're going to always be scrutinized and held to a different level of accountability because of their last name. And that is the blessing and the burden of having a father or a parent who is already a star. That person has already made enemies as well as they made friends. They've also made a lot of enemies. And you have to inherit, oftentimes the child inherits the parent's enemies. Hence the cliche, the sin of the fathers. But again, Shiloh and Shador are not being punished. They're not being dragged in the media because of the sins of their father. They're being dragged in the media. They're being held to a different standard because of the wins of their father, not the sins of their father. And I do not understand why these NFL owners hate Deion Sanders so much. Deion Sanders has given the NFL everything. when it comes to ratings, Deion Sanders was a juggernaut. The kind of money he's made, these uncivilized, ungrateful mutts, is insane. Look at all the money that he's made, even college ball. All the money he's made, Colorado, Jackson State, wherever he go, the dude is bankable. They should be kissing Deion Sanders' ass instead of hating on him and disparaging him and his sons. They should be kissing his ass. Even all of these so-called sports analysts, commentators, bloggers, Deion Sanders give them something to talk about. They all eat off Deion. They've all eaten off Deion. They should be grateful. Kind of like how these municipalities around the country should be grateful to black people, because they straight up target our communities with their policing for profit methods. We pay the bills. They write more tickets to black folks than they write to anybody in any city. Anytime you have a large population of black folks, they're preying on the community, especially the low-income black communities. They're preying on the community, hitting people with all kinds of unnecessary charges and traffic fines and stuff. People are already having a hard time just putting food on the table. Now they got to pay a damn traffic ticket because this sucker over here is trying to meet a quota. So we paying for these roads more than anybody. We paying extra. We paying taxes, and we paying the shakedown tax fee. They should be kissing our asses in every one of these cities. We're paying for these roads and repairs and mass transportation. We're paying for the beautifying of the city and the lights and the cameras, the salaries for the police department, the fire department. Yeah, everybody chip in, but we chip in more. They should be kissing our asses. This is why, fam, they're ungrateful. They're going to do you dirty anyway. So you may as well stand on business. You may as well go ahead on and let your nuts hang. Go ahead and let your nuts hang, because they gonna hate on you anyway. If you allow them to run over you, they're going to disrespect you. And what kind of man want to live life being a doormat? You got to be a special kind of fool to be a doormat. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.